WGLNA Season 1 Finals. If you're just tuning in, we are getting ready for our second match of the day, our second semifinals as well. It's SIMP Main versus Wreak Havok. Once again, my name is Dan Fodancha.
And I'm Andre Great Torpangshua. This coming up series is definitely going to be super interesting. Both teams have a lot of little pocket strategies that they can bust out at any time, and they have a lot of really interesting meta game. It's almost like the meta inception.
Right, you know what your opponents tend to do, therefore you try to counter that. But sometimes your opponents know that you want to counter that, and so they prepare something else. It's a rock, paper, scissors dynamic. And Wreak Havok, they're one of those teams that have introduced a lot of elements to it. So now that we've previewed teams just for a little bit, let's get ready for our face-off in the pre-match ceremonies with Lauren Elise.
Thank you. All right, we've got Wreak Havok to my right, and we have Team SIMP to my left. I'm going to bring their team captains up. Snipe, Mac G. If we could, please do a very quick face-off. So yesterday, Mr. Mac G, you won $5,000 for MVP. So we know that you've got it really good. We know that your team is confident. How are you feeling about being here?
I'm feeling really great today. Yesterday I was actually really anxious, so I'm glad to have gotten our first series done, and I'm looking forward to today.
All right, and how about you, Snipe? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good about this. You know, it's been fun. SIMP, we've always been really close, really neck and neck, so it's going to be a good battle. It should be entertaining for you guys. So.
Yeah, I think everybody's really looking forward to it. Do you have any words that you would like to say?
Yeah, well, other than, you know, we respect you guys a lot, I really hope you fall off a few cliffs, you know, more than just once tonight, Mac, because that really helps us when you fall off of them. So if you could do that one or two, you know, give us at least a couple wins there, we'd appreciate it.
He highlighted more than once for you. What would you like to say in response to that?
I'd like to say there is no charity today. we are coming here. We're looking to kill, and we're looking to take you out quick.
All right, well then I won't hold you guys here any further. Let's go ahead and do this. Heads, well, okay. I'll go over it one more time. I think we've all got this down though. I'm gonna say heads or tails is the higher seat. You get to choose. If you win, you get to pick the map or you can defer it. The other person gets to choose the spawning point. I think we're pretty clear on that. All right, here we go, heads or tails. He said heads. It is heads. Would you like to choose the map or defer it?
Defer. We'll defer.
All right, you get to choose the map.
We'll play Prokhorovka.
And you get to choose the spawning point.
We'll take the south.
All right, there it is. Gentlemen, please take your seats. Thank you so much. You have 3 minutes to pick your tanks. Good luck, have fun, let's battle.
Thank you once again, Lauren, doing a phenomenal job with our pre-match ceremonies. Some choice words there from Snipe to Mac G saying if you can make a few mistakes on our behalf, that'd be great. But are you really sure that you want that to happen? You want Mac G to die pretty early on. Be careful what you wish for, Sniper Food.
Definitely so. If you guys don't know, the Mac attack is real. I'm looking at the statistics right now. When when the team wins, he dies normally 66%, or about 2/3 way into the game.
Which is like 66.66.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a good way to say that.
I got what you're saying, Andre. And Mac is the team leader of SIMP.
Yeah.
You're looking at the roster right now. He has Crimson Corsair here. He has Endo, who's Saint Ensign, or according to this bio. Maw, Deep Fetch, Heavy 20, Adroxus, Publord, and Blue Boy's captain. The three people you have to be careful for whenever you go up against SIMP is Adroxus, Heavy 20, and Endo. Surprisingly, the newest members to SIMP main as well. Randall, what are some of your thoughts on SIMP?
Both Heavy 20 and Adrox are fantastic players. They have an amazing reputation in the community as just such great players. Like, you see people and you look at their stats, and that's generally a way people measure each other. But you look at Heavy 20, he has fantastic stats, but everyone knows those aren't from stat padding or anything. He doesn't sit around in a platoon all day and just play the easy tanks to get wins and shooting gold runs. He's actually that good. He's a fantastic player. And you've seen it throughout the league, and we have stats to back that up.
Definitely so, and it's important to note Endo, because, you know, along with the Droxus and him and Heavy 20, Endo is a guy that is ranked right now #2 best heavy tanker in the league. Now, this is pulled from a multitude of things, but The fact of the matter is, Endo knows how to use his heavy tanks. He knows how to use his health very, very well. And on top of that, he knows how to stay alive while still outputting the most amount of damage. That's a truly hard skill to do when you're in multiple different tanks. And he has 24 games played in the WGLNA group stages. That's a lot to be really rated and ranked.
And on the flip side, we do have another team that SIMP will be facing. It's Wreak Havok from the Havok clan. And they came into this tournament without that number 2 guy, without Call Me Stars. They have Snipe for Food, Kazo, Thybane, Sing, No One, Invade, Tevix, Callus, and Smokey. Seeing Callus and Smokey, of course, are new roster additions throughout midway of the season, but they've been gelling pretty well when they are controlling their speed on mines. Wreak Havok is a team that did upset Scurry hard in the round of 8. We couldn't believe the way they did it again, using their T1s to cap, 2 T1s to share the cap points when people least expect it. How do you rate their play thus far, Andre, and what do you expect their chances are against SIMP?
You know, they have a lot of very skilled players all over the place. They have a very good heavy tanker, they have a very good light tanker, they have a very good efficient tanker. It's just really, really well put together. So you have all these different strengths. It gives you such diverse ranges of play styles, right? You can play that offensive mode, you can play that defensive mode, you can play that base trading, knowing that putting the right tankers in the right spots will maximize your value and obviously get you a lot of wins. I feel like this is a very, very interesting lineup. Now, I wouldn't say that they're statistically better than SIMP main, but we have to give it over to Snipe for Food, who makes a lot of these calls and is able to be so successful, especially with seeing how he did yesterday. It's really amazing just watching the team come together and pull off a lot of these wins.
Snipe is making the majority of the calls because Sarge is also one of the persons sharing that burden, as well as coming up with some of their wonky strategies. But we also have to kind of tip our hats to some other really good players. Callus has been playing phenomenally, as well as Invade. Invade also came up huge yesterday in their series against Scurry Hard. Randall, I want to toss it over to you and get your thoughts about Havok, considering that you've also have a lot of experience playing against some of those guys or with some of those guys.
Yeah, when I used to play with Sniper Food, he was very new to the commanding scene, and he was just getting his feet wet into commanding a group. And now I've actually gotten to see him, meet him live and talk to him more, and he's really come a long way. He's showing that he's skilled, capable, and just a smart guy. I think he's gonna grow a lot in the next months and weeks, the next few seasons, and he will probably be one guy to watch. Just keep your eye on him.
But unfortunately, Snipe did tell me that after this tournament, barring of his school schedule and his work schedule, he might take a break in Season 2. So you can tell that he really wants to win Season 1. This is the moment for him, because after this season, he might take a break for another season before coming back to recap.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Vulcan Gaming, of course, we know to be the Goliaths of this team. They were actually saying, hey, I think it's going to be very, very even. SIMP and Wreak Havok, they've both been playing very well, and I'm sure Wreak Havok has trained a ton. I don't know who's going to take it.
Well, we do have a little bit of a technical issue with the keyboard, so we're going to take a quick break. Welcome back, everybody. It's time for the second semifinal between SIMP Main and Wreak Havok. I hope you guys are ready. The first battle will be on Proc, like we mentioned, and Southside will go to SIMP Main. North will go to Wreak Havok. Let's talk a little bit about the map, as well as some of the play styles that we know these both teams tend to do. Let's kick it off with Randall, because usually we go to Greetor first. So Randall, why don't we mix it up and toss it to you?
For Wreak Havok, the strats we've seen in the past haven't really surprised me. I don't know if there's anything that is going to be out of the box, T69s, 1390s, that kind of usual thing for both teams, I'd expect. If we see a Pershing, I'd be really surprised from either team. It's probably going to be an east-west split. That's my call from the beginning. We're going to see one team, I'd say, in the north side probably take the east, south side maybe taking the west. If they meet both in the east, that would be maybe the fallback plan that I'd expect to see.
We have seen Kernavans in the past from SIMP against Ermagerd Kernavan, but then we did also see the dramatic conclusion where Heavy 20 came up a little bit short in order to finish off that game. The countdown has begun, so let's get ready for Proc for battle number 1 between SIMP Main and Wreak Havok. The winner gets a ticket to the finals against Fulcrum. let's get our introductions on the way. In the south side, the blue team. It is SIMP Main. And the red team over in the north side. They had an epic comeback yesterday. Give it up for Wreak, Havok.
Thybane and Callus are going to be spotted out already in the T69 and in the T32. And yes, it is a T32. Two T32s for Wreak, Havok, a T69 and two 1390s. We've seen this lineup, though, from Team SIMP a lot of times. Three T69s and two 1390s. It's important to note that there was no time, I believe, in the regular season that we saw two T32s on this map out for Wreak, Havok.
Yeah, that was usually a strat we saw out of something like Scurry Hard.
Yeah.
And they would play the west side. And I think this is kind of a similar approach. And we see SIMP actually kind of adjusting to that appropriately. And it looked like they were ready to go mid, but when they saw those T32s, they said, let's book it into the east. And what they did was they ran straight up towards the middle, had Blue Boys take a little bit of a scout run, very cautious scout run so as he wouldn't get caught out. And the rest of the T69 just crossed over safely. They're all in the east. We've got a nice spread, east-west. It's going to be a slow game if those T32s push up, which they are actually very quickly. That is the answer right there if you are in the west to try and get towards the east. You need to just get tight on those train tracks.
Excellent observation there, Rookkill, as Scurry Hard does like shoving with these T32s, but they need a little bit of support because it is easy to get some crossfire, and that's why they're spreading themselves out along that 5 line to try and make sure to cover every area. Now again, we haven't seen Wreak Havok employ this too much, but keep in mind, Scurry Hard, primarily a Havok clan as well, so they can share these strategies and help them fix things in order to get prepared for the semifinals, see how they'll be able to execute.
Okay, well, they are setting up a nice concave. You can see two light tanks all the way on the other side. Blue Boy's captain actually taking a little bit of damage. I wasn't able to actually see what happened, but he's down 1 shot. Heavy 20 over there as his battle buddy in the two 1390s, and you do have Sing ready on the other side to obviously receive him. Who is over there on the other side in the north?
Oh, we got players like Invade and Thybane. They're all there just chilling out, trying to make sure that Blue Boys can't get a good spot along with Heavy 20 in that 1390. But spots have been located. The first exchange, neither player hitting as Crimson Corsair and Unknown One both whiffed. But that's definitely a good job there by Unknown One because baiting out the T69 shots is crucial if there is any actual full-out engagement.
I do want to mention that the top 3 most accurate players are playing over here in this match, as there is something brewing over in the north side. But Blue Boys captain number 2, of course, Adroxus number 1, and number 3 going to Unknown One. So really interesting stuff.
Thybane's trying to get a position, but he takes a crossfire from one of the mediums over in the center part of the city, and has to be kind of careful because they were trying to poke in and maybe trade out and do some damage on Heavy 20. But you kind of lose that edge as a T69 over the 1390 with that health if you kind of give it away too easily. Blue Boys will kind of evacuate from the situation along with most of the members here from SIMP. But Mac G might not get out alive, and Vane might line up the shot.
Nope, they're smart. They're leaving Mac G.
Leaving Mac G alone. Good job. Good decision making from Wreak Havok thus far.
Yeah, but they have taken a lot more shots. I think 1 or 2 more shots over their opponents, so they have to be careful. Invade down quite a bit. Thybane 1 shot, Unknown One 1 shot. But the T32s definitely have a lot more hit points, so they can take that. It's not that big of a deal.
Still proxy spotting, but I like that it's not necessarily full or heavy east versus the heavy west. It's really contested along these railroad tracks as Wreak Havok really wants to employ the T32 in the positions that they're strong. The hold down armor, 298 on the turret, makes it very difficult for penetration if you can angle it properly. And it's going to be extremely difficult for SIMP to engage on that if Callus and Unknown One can get into a good spot. But they haven't been allowing it thus far and have been so far playing very defensive along the east side.
What can either team really do to break this? I mean, I feel like it is a pretty big stalemate here, Wukil.
Yeah, we could see maybe a T1 engagement in the far south. If we could do that, we could maybe get permanent eyes, as one of the T1s would be more flexible and able to move into the backfield or around one of the flanks. Actually, speak the devil, I see spotting in the south.
Tevix has to be careful.
are going to be spotted here going for the cap, forcing their opponents to cross the tracks and do something about this. Of course, Fej is right there. I'm not sure what gun he mounted. Oh, okay, it's not the spray gun.
Oh, yeah, it's not the auto loader. Instead, they're trying to go for burst. And that could be good or bad depending on how your playstyle is. But Fej, one of the older members of the team, is also very experienced, and is also Rukil's soulmate apparently.
We're best buddies.
Okay, and this is going to be the big trigger. As you can see, Heavy 20 is just rearing his head over.
Oh, but
shooting out.
Havok does drop down. That's a nice shot from Heavy 20, and he gets sniped for food as well. This is a very good job by SIMP to kind of disarm it. But meanwhile, while Heavy 20 is distracted, Wreak Havok trying to push in. Sing gets some shots on Crimson Corsair, but he's going to get completely annihilated as a response to it. Cal's trying to finish off Blue Boy's captain as Invade has taken out Mac G, and normally that is not very good for Wreak Havok.
Definitely not. I mean, the tier 8 advantage goes over to SIMP main, and now Heavy 20 is able to get in there behind, take out one of the T-32s. Unknown one is going to go down, and now Callus is the next guy on their list.
Oh, not working out as Wreak Havok intended, as Snipe for Food does normally employ aggressive strategies, but SIMP has received the attacks perfectly. Nendo and Adroxis and Heavy 20. These are the three main members of SIMP that dishes out the most damage and play the most efficient. And to nobody's surprise, they're also coming through very big in Battle 1 here on Proc.
Sir, Thybane and Invade all the way on the top there. They were giving good crossfire, but they're not able to really do all too much against 4 tier 8 tanks. Invade will take one out, but he's down to 180 hit points. Thybane now being focused down in that T-69.
Ooh,
both
good
of them are
screening by Adroxis. They stay away from Endo because he has 666 health. And sometimes those numbers mean more than just a hit point count. Battle number 1 is over. SIMP will take the first game in this Best of 7 series, and we will take a quick commercial break. We've seen the Pershing played from time to time on open maps, or even not even that much open maps like Abby as well. But that's not what we're going to expect for Battle 2 between SIMP and Wreak Havok. We're going to Ruinberg. I probably should have looked at the map before I said that.
Now, Ruinberg, definitely one of those interesting maps where we were talking about the rock, paper, scissors mentality that you have. What can we expect from Wreak Havok, guys?
KV5?
Yes, sir. We've seen the KV5 being used every single time. Now, it's interesting because I feel like the rock, paper, scissors thing that goes on here has evolved after the group stages and now after the finals over here in the round of 8. It's really quite cool. They used to have the KB5 as tank fodder, where it draws out a lot of tanks, and if you don't attack it, well, it's getting free damage on everything else. And then they go for a really quick, fast cap, knowing that it's the you know what I know, but you know what I know, therefore I'm going to do this. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, but that's the type of mind games that goes into it.
When they're playing
exactly
too.
Like when I'm reading Wreak Havok from the other side, I'm like, what the heck is going on? They're doing so much.
Well, we'll find out what happens in Battle 2 on Ruinberg specifically. The countdown is almost about to finish. Let's find out what happens in the second chapter of this series. Lo and behold, let's go ahead and do both introductions at the same time. In the north we have blue, which is SIMP, and in the south we have Wreak Havok in the red. And we don't have much time to talk, because we might have a confrontation very soon.
Absolutely, and this time around, Wreak Havok did not choose a KV5, so they're changing it up. And let's go ahead and look at what the tanks are. 3 IS-3s at 5100 and T-69 for Wreak Havok. 2 IS-3s, 2 T-69s, and a 5100. Snipe for food.
And Tevix already has dropped from a shot. I believe that was from Adroxis. And that's going to be very tough if you immediately lose both T1. Sniper Food going to use a small little cubby. Unknown one taking big DPS. Wreak Havok is charging forward, but they're taking so much trade. Heavy 20 is very weak, but this is an opportunity for Endo and Adroxis to screen for their teammate. If they can, Sing is not going to be buried. He's going to try to finish it off, but he might come at the cost of his own life.
Yep, Blue Boys captain coming in from the side, making it extremely hard, and also screening out for all the lower HP tanks. Heavy 20 all the way at 360 hit points down. Gonna die. Invade and Thybane in the middle of everything. Invade is gonna be prioritized, and down he goes. Now Thybane, he does have a couple of more shots left,
Look
but he
at
misses.
Heavy 20, he's
against
still
Heavy
alive,
20.
and he's gonna put out some damage. Thybane has been clipping, and Heavy 20, despite him taking most of the front damage, has now lived while using dead tanks as cover. And Thybane, he's pretty much the only person here that can try to escape, but he won't be able to. Unknown One, who took most of the damage early on and had to sit out most of the fight, is now the last remaining target, and this aggressive strategy from Wreak Havok will not work out. SIMP takes a quick battle too and jumps out to a 2-0 lead. We'll be right back. Great look into T69, a fantastic finisher. Some of the highest killers in WGL Season 1 specialize in the T69, like Junior, who's very proud of his accomplishments of kill stealing.
Yeah, I mean, you can rack up so many kills, especially on those T1s. It helps out, as you said, Frodan. So, and again, we've seen T1s become such a key integral role throughout the entire WGLNA finals. But here in game number 2, it's a little bit different. We're moving over to Himmelsdorf, or excuse me, game number
Battle
3.
3. Battle 3 is going to be on Himmelsdorf, Andre, and the countdown has begun. Wreak Havok needs to win now. You don't want to go down 0-3 because it's almost going to be impossible to win 4 in a row against SIMP. Let's find out what happens on Himmelsdorf. Welcome to Himmelsdorf in the north side. The blue team currently up 2-0. Give it up for SIMP. And the red team in the south currently down 0-2, but they've made bigger comebacks before. Give a round of applause for Wreak Havok.
Big Congo line, apparently. These guys from Team SIMP are taking a note out of No Stars.
That's right. We all charged down one lane together. But they don't have a tier 10 this time. They only have some tier 8s and a couple of T1 Cunninghams, as SIMP is making a mass charge up the hill. Now, SIMP has been picking Southside Himmelsdorf for quite some time and being able to completely lock down certain areas. But this time they're in North, and it's interesting to see them go for a mass push strategy over on the eastern side. Whoa, a little more than I wanted to see. Clothe yourself better, Crimson Corsair. Come on now.
And nothing is spotted out just yet by either team, so there's no indicators that they are spotted out. This is going to force them to push even further. Are there any red tanks on the top of that hill?
There is one tier 1. It's either Sniper Food or Tevix. I see that on the main map.
Oh, and there it is. Sniper Food is going to spot everybody out. That should be the trigger. So everybody's going to push down Tank Alley, and there's a single IS-3 waiting for him.
And now SIMP will have to rotate and go back to base if they want to stop this, as Wreak Havok is going for a mass push. We hear the shouts be right behind us. They're making a lot of calls on what's going to happen, who can get there first and get a better foot position. That way they can have an early leg up in the upcoming engagement.
Ooh, Adroxus did miss that first shot in his IS-3. Really unfortunate. You want to get that HP advantage before the main engagement starts, because there will be a positional advantage.
Disorganized. They're bumping into each other, trying to rearrange to make sure they get optimal shots. Sing has to kind of be careful. He did take a shot, and it's not going to be very good. SIMP starts off with a nice advantage in hit points. Unknown One also getting scathed.
Yep, Crimson Corsair right behind there now as the battle buddy for Adroxus. He did a pretty good job. Adroxus did a pretty good job, only down to 912 health, and at the same time has been able to put out consistent fire against the Wreak Havok.
But take a look at this. Endo is going around to flank. He will come from the west, and it looks like he might be able to get a few free hits on Thybane, but he is spotted out, and they're
Thybane taking big shots. This is what Endo needed to do. He may have one more to take out Thybane, and he does. And that's one tier 8 down for Wreak Havok. SIMP still has all 7 members alive.
And 2 T1 tanks were able to take out the other tier 1 Tevix all the way on the west side. So they're going for the cap, yeah. They're going to be on the clock.
Only 50 seconds, if they even need it. Blue Boys captain is getting swarmed though. Unknown One is going to lead the charge, but Invade will be able to finish it off. Adroxus is in a duel with Sing, but Crimson Corsair comes for the assist. And now, SIMP still sits with an 8-point advantage and one extra tier 8. Unknown One trying to wrap around, but ooh, he does manage to get a wraparound shot. Excellent job there.
But 37 seconds left. Who's going to go back? That's the big question. Someone needs to. Immediately, Heavy 20 is able to take out, it looks like Invade. But still, nobody's going back, and there's only 25 seconds left.
I mean, as good of a job Wreak Havok is trying to brawl and make sure to salvage the situation, they just don't have enough to be able to outgun SIMP. And because of those T1's advantage, it's going to have to force Unknown One to recall home. In fact, both remaining members of Wreak Havok have to recall home. If they can kill off the 2 T1s and maybe kill off the tier 8, they might be able to force a draw, but still be very difficult unless there's a massive error on SIMP's behind.
Ammo racked and red base is captured, ladies and gentlemen. SIMP will take a 3-0 lead over here in the semifinals of the WGLNA. We're going to go a short commercial break. We'll be back. Battle number 4.
Welcome back, everybody, to the desk. We're getting ready for battle number 4 between SIMP main and Wreak Havok. SIMP is up 3-0, and right before the match, Mac G said that he's ready to kill today, and they look unstoppable. SIMP firing on all fronts, working together very well, and overall, I feel very intimidated on Wreak Havok's behalf.
And the movement was fantastic. Even with Wreak Havok knowing where SIMP was going to be coming from, they weren't able to do the necessary damage to take the tier 8 win even. And on top of that, the 2 T1s, as soon as they realized what was going on, the push down tank alley, they both booked it over to the west side, took out the other T1, and then went straight for the flag cap. That just gives you insurance in the battle. So even if you lose, you will have that base cap.
On the bottom left in the screen there, that's Mac G, the captain and MVP of Season 1. To the right is Crimson Corsair, as well as Blue Boys captain. In the back, there's Endo, as well as Heavy 20 Fej, as well as Adroxus. SIMP looks unstoppable in their first 3 battles, but now we head over to Mines. Randall, let's ask you about what we've been seeing thus far. Are you proud of your boys because you come from SIMP?
I think they are playing Himmelsdorf fantastically, just all together. We've seen them lose maybe, once? Or maybe only once or twice on Himmelsdorf. The rest of the time, it's been very tight. It looks like they're going to lose, but then they just still pull it out. And I loved their play on Himmelsdorf. I felt like that was a mistake out of Wreak Havok to pick a map that is so strong for their opponents.
Yeah, we were talking about the heavy tanks. I mean, Wreak Havok is known for having good heavy tanks, don't get me wrong, but the number one thing that SIMP has is the best heavy tanks in the entire league. That's something to be scared about on Ensk, on Himmelsdorf, on Ruinsburg. These are all maps that SIMP is exceptionally good at.
It could have been also that they saw the River of Blood series yesterday and how well River of Blood handled on Himmelsdorf, and maybe wanted to try something similar against SIMP and perhaps eke out a win. But now they're down 0-3. They have to win every single battle. Even a draw here would be very bad for Wreak Havok. The countdown has begun, and let's find out if once more can Wreak Havok start the comeback. The top side, currently up 3-0. That's the blue team. Give it up for SIMP. And in the south side, the red team down 0-3. They need all love you can give them. It is Wreak Havok. Wreak Havok has had a hard journey getting here. They are here without Sarge. They lost their tiebreaker against the Cunninghams and had to qualify through another tiebreaker, but yet they're here. They don't want to go home now, but still, SIMP just looks really strong. Look at this.
Oh, look at this, a double push-up onto the top. Are you kidding me? Now, the first guys that we saw do this was Scurry Hard. They pushed up 1WZ 132 all the way to the top. And the best part about pushing up from the north side is that you have this bush to actually camo a lot of your light tanks. So right away, this is great having 2 tier 8 tanks on the top of that hill.
Yep, utilizing the engine power and shoving the lighter tanks. AMX 1390 is significantly lighter than most of the tier 8 rotation tanks. Even the WZ 132, which is also a light tank, completely outgunned there in terms of the weight.
I gotta ask Ro4, what do you think so far, man? Do you like the Simp boys?
I like this. I've seen this before a few times, pushing people on top of the hill, and it's always a great approach because of just how stealthy it is. However, if they can't do anything with this or they blow the cover, it's gonna waste a whole lot of what they've just done in that stealth approach. It'll if they blow it, it'll be proxy spotting or making a run and not actually spotting anyone, but getting spotted themselves. So they have to approach this cautiously. And I don't know what Wreak Havok is doing. I don't know where they are, but I don't think Simp does either.
They are spread more along the sides the setup that we usually see Fulcrum do, but they're a little bit more aggressive with it. Instead of taking island and trying to shove slowly with like a 4-man push up the hill, they're having Invade and Sing bring up the lighthouse rear and then have 3 of the mediums try to push up on the hill. But the joke's on them because there's 2 1390s also on the hill, and now the initial spots on most of the members here from Wreak Havok have been sighted, and that's going to be a little bit tougher for Wreak Havok to push in when they see, how did Blue Boys get in there so fast?
Yeah, Thaiman needs to be careful. This is a big shocker, I'm sure, but then they realize, oh, they pushed him up. Wow, what devious play. I guess taking the south isn't nearly as good.
And now Invade has been spotted. That's going to trigger a push out of Simp.
Yes, because 2 T8s are all the way over on the west side. Here we go, pushing on in. The 1390s are going to just dabble into the fight.
Some damage being pushed out on Thigh-Mate and another one, but he's getting shot from every which direction. It's just an all-out massacre and brawl on both sides of the hill as Wreak Havok is frantically trying to go in for a counter flank, but instead, Simp is using the opportunity to just swarm every person they see. Callus is gonna drop, and that means 4 members of Wreak Havok are down while all 7 of Simp remain. Simp looking strong to take this battle and go to the final to the 4-0 sweep, unless Wreak Havok can make some magic.
Yep, Sing in his 1390 is gonna be gunned down immediately. Down he goes in less than, I would say, 3 seconds. He was prioritized, and now there's only 1 tier 8 Invade left. He actually skirted all the way down this rock.
It's not going to be enough, as he is now taking a nice vacation by the beach, trying to just forget all the worries possible, but Adroxus is going to crash it. Say, you know what? I think it's time for me to go to the final. Simp will advance 4-0 after they take down and Invade. An absolutely stunning performance from start to finish in this semifinal, and I couldn't think of a better matchup between Simp and Fulcrum. Congratulations once again to Simp Main.
Really fantastic way to play it out, surprising their opponents with those 1390s. And then from there, and soon as Invade was spotted, they knew we can commit very easily and overmatch everybody in that center.
It was just a perfect reaction, and it was very well timed. I don't think they could have reacted much faster than that. The only thing they could have done better was possibly even better spotting, and that would have been hard to do with the T1s with the limited view range that they had. Great job by Simp. Wreak Havok putting out a strong showing. Unfortunately, not even able to bring it back on Mines, one of the maps I would have said Wreak Havok would have had the strongest chance of winning that and bringing it back.
What an interesting reversal of roles, where in the first quarterfinal match, Fulcrum looked so dominant against the Cunninghams, and Simp looked like they were having a little troubles against one of their sister clans in River of Blood. And now in the semifinals, opposite way. Simp looks untouchable, and Fulcrum looked very mortal. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen when these 2 teams clash once again in the grand finals.
Yeah, go ahead. No, you go.
Ro4, I was going to ask you, in game number 4, over here on Mines, we've talked with Soviet a lot about how it's a lot more stagnant. Is this particular thing that Simp did, 2 light tanks all the way onto the high ground, is this a way to really break that stagnation and make it a lot more dynamic?
Yeah, I feel like it's a very strong approach to Mines, and it's a great way to get tanks up onto the hill, especially when you don't feel like getting them up there incredibly quickly is absolutely important. When you can get them up on the hill and maybe take a second, but it's a safety approach rather than a speed approach.
Well,
I wouldn't say they innovated the strategy, but they definitely refined it to something that is perfect for this competitive play here in the semifinals for WGLNA. It earned them the spot to the finals, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be an amazing one.
At the same time, Wreak Havok isn't done for today. One more round of applause for Wreak Havok for a fantastic top 4 finish. But they aren't done just yet. They will have an opportunity to play for 3rd place, where they can get more money as well as get better seeding possibilities for that year finals next year in Poland. We're getting ready to find out what's going to happen, but we're going to have a lot of other fun stuff too, Andre, because what happens after this semifinal?
Yeah, we have a fun race, a death race, if you will, where I'm not allowed
It doesn't sound so grim.
a death race.
It's a lot more positive than what Ro4 mentioned. We're going to have a fun race where people are going to have to do laps. It's going to be really lighthearted. Mr. Bin and Rotterdam are going to come out, one of the most famous casting duos in all of esports, and I might make a guest appearance as well. We're also going to have a 3rd and 4th place match between Wreak Havok as well as the loser of Fulcrum versus Simple Tankers, which are Simple Tankers. I needed to stall to think about that. And then we have the grand final. So we have 3 things planned for you, but we also want to remind you that's not also the only cool thing that's happening. What else can some people who come to the venue can get here, Ro4?
Yeah, you guys can not only win premium tanks from those raffle tickets that are being given out systematically throughout the entire broadcast, but also you can win a beautiful Alienware computer. Make sure to keep those raffle tickets because, man, oh man, Rookiller, you can attest to it. That computer is amazing.
It is a pretty boss computer, and I do like playing the World of Tanks, along with a few other games on there during my break times when I'm slacking off.
Well, you're playing it all the time then, Rando. Just kidding, man. You're doing great. Thank you so much for joining us, Rando. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll toss it over to Clutch for a post-game interview with the members of SIMP.
Thank you, gentlemen. I am joined by Mac G and Endo. Is it Endo or Satan Sinner now? Endo. It's Endo. We're going with Endo. Oh, good. Endo's better. All right, guys. Congratulations on that match victory. 4-0 sweep. So any surprises happening in that match? Did you pretty much feel confident you were going to take them down?
We felt really confident today. Yesterday we were really anxious. We just got here. It was really exciting yesterday, and today we really settled in and figured out how we wanted to approach it and get it done.
Endo, you've performed very well throughout this season. There's multiple times where we have you in our highlight videos. I mean, you're able to perform your role very well, no matter the map. Is there any piece of the puzzle that you feel you fit the best for the team? Do you feel that you complete your role better than anyone else in the season play of WGLNA?
Well, I'm a type of player that I don't like to be in a corner. I like to have my exit strategies. I like to have my pathways where I can flank. I love to flank, as you saw in Himmelsdorf there, where I flanked around and I tracked someone and I killed them. That's my specialty. And you saw it on Insk too, when facing Nerve. I flanked around, got around. That's how I feel my role. I see the pathways and I go there, and I'm a great auto reloader specialist. I try to pen. That's what I try to do.
The autoloader specialist is Endo. Now, do you have a good luck charm that you keep on you on the stage?
My sunglasses, and they're not here. I left them on there, but I like my sunglasses. They're my good luck charm. Yeah.
Well, now that you guys are going to make it to the finals, a lot of people predicted this, you versus Fulcrum. And I'm sure you have a lot of thoughts going through your mind. I'm sure you have a lot of nerves maybe going through your entire team. Do you feel prepared for the finals against Fulcrum? Do you feel prepared as a team from your performance that we've seen in the league, from your performance that we've seen here in Las Vegas, the culmination of your entire season so far? What are your thoughts? What are your feelings?
I think today, we're feeling the most prepared we've ever felt. We're feeling really confident right now. We're feeling really good. We're getting our stuff done. We're doing what we need to do. We're executing perfectly, and we're really excited for this finals match.
I'm really excited. I'm confident. Let's go. Let's win this. Yeah.
I also want to talk real briefly about Simple Tankers, because as people are starting to figure out Simple Tankers, Simp, what is the connection? They're from the same clan, and you're the clan leader. Your thoughts on Simple Tankers' performance against Fulcrum today, and are you going to meet with them to try to see any patterns that you can overcome Fulcrum with? Are you expecting them to help you out at all before this next match?
I'm not expecting them, to give us anything for free. Our clan, it's all about that competitive spirit. We want to beat each other. We love each other, but we want to beat the snot out of each other.
Just like brothers in real life.
And so, I'm feeling, so proud of Simple Tankers. I mean, even if we lost against Wreak Havok, I would have just left this so happy, you know, seeing Simple Tankers play as well as they did. It really, you know, made us all feel good. You know, we were cheering. It was just, you know, such a good feeling to see them doing so well.
It was incredibly memorable. It was incredibly memorable to see that. The crowd was going crazy. Fulcrum was up against the ropes. And to see the #1 seeded team have to fight that hard against a team that barely made it through the playoffs and into the top 8, it shows that the giant of Fulcrum could fall. You know, and you guys have had a sordid history. Your rivals, basically, SIMP and Fulcrum Gaming. All right, finally, since you have so many people that are watching this broadcast, you have so many people around the world, especially in Russia, watching this broadcast, what would you like to say to them and to your fans?
I just want to say thank you for watching. You know, this wouldn't be possible without you guys, and we're so thankful to be here in Vegas.
Thanks for watching, and we need more people in North America to start playing the game. We need to build this game and build the growth. This is really good. This game needs to break out more.
It's getting bigger and bigger, and you guys can always check out the game for free at worldoftanks.com or wargaming.net. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to have the 3rd, 4th place match ready for you. Don't go anywhere. The WGLNA Season 1 Finals continues after this.